We're live.
All right. Pensman, how's your day going so far?
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good morning and welcome to the Saturday Sports Show. My name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Saturday Sports Show. And yeah, what do you want to talk about? And let us talk to you. I am the revolutionary. I am the visionary. I am Ralph Williams. I apologize. We're having some issues with these videos, and I don't know what the heck is going on today. But we've been having issues all morning here with stuff, so I'm not real sure exactly why, but we're having some issues. So I don't know where they're coming from or what's going on, but seems like that's what we're also on some new software today too. So that's another story. So we're still trying to get this new software rolling or whatever. So that's probably what's the problem. But with me today is my co-host, as usual, Pensman Sports and Brian Pettit. Leo Haggerty is off today and will not be joining us as well. All right, so we have a lot to talk about today. Now, first, we're going to start off. Brian, go ahead. We're going to do a tribute to Kyle Busch. We're going to do a moment of silence. So go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. This week we lost a famous NASCAR driver, Kyle Busch. And I just want to say, condolence to his family, to everybody involved in the NASCAR community. So this is a little tribute to you, Kyle. If you want to put that one on the big screen, you can, Ralph, if you know how to. All right, there we go.
All right, there you are. All right, folks, the comments section wide open. And as I said before, we're still trying to get used to this stuff here with the what you call it, the new software here. Got a little flustered this morning, had a couple technical breakdowns here, but we're back up and we're running and we're going. Pensman Sports, welcome to the program. Pensman, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you and what's going on and how are you this morning?
I'm doing good. Happy Memorial Weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend, so everybody have a good Memorial Day on Monday. So hope everybody stays safe and remember all the troops that sacrificed everything. So you can find me on YouTube. Now I got my original channel that I wanted up from day one, but Twitch finally let me have it. It is Pensman Sports that is on YouTube. So now you can follow me. Now you can get to 50. Now that I got my original channel back up and running, finally you can follow me on there. Same content, same stuff that I do on YouTube, same thing. So just follow me over there. You know what I'm doing. I've been on here for 2 years, almost 3 years if you count the year off. But so you can do what you need. So just follow me over there. Email me, please. No emails. Where are you guys at? So you can follow me at pensmansports@gmail.com.
All right, thank you. Brian Pettit, welcome to the program, Brian. Brian, tell us about your new broadcasting network here, and we're simulcasted as well on both Pensman Sports and also on Brian's new network. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, you can find me on Sports Break Media. You can find me on X. You can find me on most of the platforms. Also on X, that's 27 at Sports Break, but no media on that one. So that's where you can find me. And also, so a lot been going on this week. A lot of news and stuff. Just been working and just having a good old time, and it's Memorial Day weekend, and we got to celebrate the people that are fallen and everything else. So, so that's where we're at this weekend.
Oh, yeah, Memorial Day weekend. And just want to let everyone know we're in Studio 10 here in Berlin, Maryland. And so it's a great morning here. And don't forget later on, 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon on AM 1250, The Answer 92.5 on the FM dial, the Sports Corner radio show. We're on a new software that we're trying out here right now. and that's why I don't have the banner to put up for you. But Sports Corner Radio Show with me, Ralph Williams, Smoking Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, and Luther Dupree. 1250 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial in Pittsburgh. Don't forget to tune into that as well, because we have a lot to talk about, as we do here as well. All right, guys, let's get started here. Kyle Busch, the death of Kyle Busch, 41 years old. Really sad state of affairs during Memorial Day weekend. And that's the interesting part of the whole thing, is the fact that we had this situation that has happened, and it rocked the entire racing world, and it's rocking the whole world of not only just racing but across the country. The people that follow Kyle Busch and in the NASCAR circuit. All right, we'll start with you, Brian, because you're in the NASCAR and you're a NASCAR guru here.
Chief analyst.
Chief
analyst of NASCAR. Yeah, no, Kyle Busch, and I'll just give you a backstory. When he was coming up, if people don't understand, he came up as a wild kind of a race car driver, almost like Dale Senior, and he was a villain. Always stayed true to that villain. He kind of, as a villain, he always kind of, did his own thing, caused wreck, and now that you can actually see him different, kind of once he got to his older age, in his late 30s, he kind of not been that villain, but he's always been in that NASCAR kind of a deal, So I mean, it's a lot of it's going on a lot with him. Braxton is getting into racing. He's been in racing. Also last night, if people were asleep or something, RCR released a statement saying that the 8 will belong to Braxton when he comes to NASCAR. More details on that later. But I mean, it's kind of a win-win. It was a shock to everybody because last week he actually won in the Truck Series, and now, a week later, he's gone. So just a lot of things that's going on. I know there's a small community NASCAR fans throughout the world is mourning this morning. And also, they'll have a truck race. They just announced the truck race will be at 8:00 tonight. So yeah, it's going to be an emotional truck race,
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you're exactly correct on that one. Big dedications going around all across the country. Pensman, your thoughts on Kyle Busch and his passing? Go ahead.
It's a shame. It's a shame. I have no emotion because I'm not a fan of him. I hope he was I hope he would retire instead of die. You don't want to see somebody die, but you want somebody to retire, enjoy, be a father, and have fun, but with the kids. But I remember him back in the M&M's car. I saw the M&M's car where I used to work. We used to have like a fundraiser, and M&M's car was there, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's Kyle Busch's car." I'm like, "Yay, okay." I was a senior Harvick Jr. fan and I always stuck to that group. So after Harvick retired, I got out of it. But he was a pain in the butt. He was, like Brian said, he was a pain in the butt. He was a villain. He wrecked Junior a bunch of times. But you don't want to see anybody go out, especially at the age of 41. You'd rather see him go out at 75, 80. But it is what it is. If you don't feel something right in your body for 2 weeks, you gotta get it checked. And I guess Kyle Busch forgot to do that. I don't know. They say he had problems, and he was asking for his doctor, which is really rare. But I don't know if anybody heard that or not. But he was asking for his doctor at the time, so I guess everybody ignored that. So I don't know. Back to you, Ralph.
Exactly. If it's a medical situation and he didn't, he was asking for his doctor, he didn't get it. I mean, the medical people, they screw up too, so, but this is for, sorry to hear about what happened to Kyle Busch, and that's for him today. And it's really sad. The racing world has been rocked by this, and it's not good. So, but we'll go from there. All right. Let's get started here. NCAA has a new rule, and I'm going to read it off to everybody in case you're not aware as to what it is.
2 feet in.
They're finally stepping up. No. They're finally stepping up because President Trump had to get involved in this. All right, because I told and I said this how many times on this program and on all my programs. about how the NCAA needs to get some kind of structure. So since the NCAA decided they're not going to have structure, guess what President Trump did? He made it for them. And here we go. Here's the rules now. The NCAA had to institute this rule here, and I'll show you in a minute here. Well, I don't have it to put up, but I'm going to read it off to you here. And it says, the NCAA advancing major age-based eligibility model, often called the 5-and-5 rule. Instead of traditional 4 seasons within 5 years, it allows athletes to compete in up to 5 seasons, no 7 seasons. All right, 5, no more than 5 seasons within 5 years. It allows athletes to compete in up to 5 seasons within a continuous 5-year window, starting the academic year after they graduate high school or turn 19. The new 5-and-5 concept brings several major changes to collegiate athletes. Okay, elimination of redshirting, the standard redshirt year, and most hardship medical waivers are eliminated, making eligibility much more straightforward. Strict exemption windows. The 5-year clock starts exactly upon high school and its graduation or turning 19, whichever is earlier. Waivers will only be granted for extenuating circumstances like military service, religious missionary work, or pregnancy. Current athletic protection. The NCAA has noted that currently enrolled athletes who have remaining eligibility after 2025-26 academic year will be permitted to use the new or the old rules for the new model, whichever is beneficial to them. All right, guys, what do you think about this situation here? We'll start with you, Pensman. This new NCAA rule. What are your thoughts on it? Go ahead.
Finally, something changes. No more 6-year senior, no more 7-year senior, no more of that. So I'm glad to hear that. But hey, gotta come in, you gotta perform, you gotta tighten the belt. If you're good, you're good. If you're not, there's always option B, wherever option B is. So if you're not good in whatever sport you're in, you got to come in with plan B. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm happy for the new change. So NCAA has to do something,
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. They do. They have to. Something has to
and
be done.
and it's
Yeah,
a and
yeah.
it's and, and it's a good advantage, and it's a good advantage for the next generation that's coming up that's in high school already. So I'm happy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, Brian Pettit, go ahead. Your thoughts on this NCAA thing? Go ahead.
I think it's actually very good because now you don't get people that are at the age of 26 years old, younger than what they are. I mean, you're supposed to. I mean, the pandemic's been over for a while, so I mean, if you're injury, yeah, but it just takes back where they said, "Oh, we've been in a pandemic." The pandemic's been over, you know. So you can get a. I think you can get a red shirt for medical, for kind of other stuff. But after 5 years, you should be playing in the NFL, because you only got, like we always said, you only got a limited time to play in the NFL. I think
Yeah,
the
I
average
really.
is at what 35, and then you're going downhill after that. So you only have 10 years. Your average, Ralph, and I thought about this too just a minute when you were reading that. You kind of graduate at like 22, like if you were going to that kind of standard, you're graduating at 22 years old. I mean, that's only like 10 or 12 years that you can actually play in the NFL if you get it, but it's a small margin just getting in the NFL.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And not only just a small margin of getting in, Brian, but a lot of athletes now are leaving at an early time. A lot of the pro athletes, the NFL players, they're doing 5, 6, 7 years, and they're getting out. They don't want this concussion problem. They don't want to. There's just a lot. If you bank your money right, you can get out of it. And also, too, the NIL's out of control. I think next thing the NCAA needs to do is they need to put a cap on the NIL. They need to say, look, every school can only spend this much money on NIL. And the transfer portal, they've already done a few little tinkers, but they need to do more to get the transfer portal also straightened out as well. So that's my thoughts on this going with this NCAA rule. All right, guys, let's move on here. Our next topic, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs. It's winding down. It's getting there. And the NCAA playoffs. And I want to tell you, it's The Spurs are in it again, and they haven't been in it for a while, but they're in it this year. They play the Thunder tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, and the Thunder beat the Spurs last night, 123 to 108. So that's going on in that part of town there. But and the Knicks and the Cavaliers played in game two. Final on Thursday was the Knicks 109 and the Cavaliers 93. Guys, your thoughts on all?
Let's go.
Who do you think is going to win the West, and who's going to win the East? We'll start with you, Brian. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to go. Okay, I'm going to go there. I think they'll win that. I think it's OKC, so I'm going to pick them to win the whole entire thing. So that was my odd-on favorites for a while back. But let's go with them on the win. But they're a good team. We'll see. And I'll mention this too, Ralph. What do you think about what's his name, Kirsten? The not the Spurs, but the other team.
Oh yeah, I got you. Oh, you mean the Thunder?
Yeah, the Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder. Yeah, Oklahoma City or OKC they call them or whatever they call them. Yeah.
No, but what do you think about being cursed that they did on WWE?
Yeah, Danhausen. Yeah,
Danhausen.
Cavaliers. Yeah. Well, I'm glad he did because I don't like Cleveland to begin with. So I mean, I can't stand Cleveland anyway. So but anyway, like I said, I'm glad the Knicks have won, and I think it's going to be the Knicks and the Thunder. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking too.
Yeah. How about you, Pensman? What's your thoughts? Who's going to make it in this thing, or who's going to be in the championship?
If you follow me on YouTube and you follow my channel, I always do this. Let's go Knicks! So they got the Knicks are back. They haven't done anything since 2000. So let's see if they do it. Let's see if they get over. Brunson is putting up numbers. Josh Hart is putting up numbers. Carl Anthony Towns is looking like Shaq, not to a degree, but he's actually making room and getting inside. So it's good to see the Knicks actually doing something. See if the Knicks can do something, and see if the Yankees can do something. And we'll maybe we could have a two parades going on in New York. But the New York needs something. So let's see.
Let's see.
Two parades going to New York.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll see what happens with this. But I want to say this here. We're going to go into the NHL playoffs right now. Canadians and Hurricanes. I like the Hurricanes, but Canadians are up 1-0 so far. But I want to see what's going to happen in this thing. And you got the Avalanche versus the Golden Knights. And I got to tell you, the Golden Knights with John Teratalo, who just made his return after the other coach got fired. Guys, your thoughts on the NHL playoffs? Pensman, you're the man for the NHL. Go ahead. We'll start with you. Go.
We talked about this last week with Rob Peterson. We talked about this. The Hurricanes, they were off too long. We'll see what happens tonight. Let's see if they get their legs going. I think they're off too long. It hurts teams. You can't have that much of a layoff. Congratulations on beating the Flyers, but I don't know. The Carolina Hurricanes need to get their legs how they were against the Penguins and Philly, so we'll see what happens. Vegas Knights, they're scrappy. Colorado Avalanche, they were good, but I think their time is coming. I think Vegas Knights has their number, and no team's ever won a President's Cup and a Stanley Cup in the same year, so hopefully that stays. I hope the Colorado Avalanche do well, but I think the Vegas Knights just has their number.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe that to be the case.
I think it's going to be Montreal, and
I
think it's going to be Montreal, and
it could be Montreal. And the Avalanche, don't spell them out. The Avalanche have always been a tough team. They've been in the Stanley Cup. They've been in the playoffs. They're a defensive team that does a really good job. And but the Vegas Knights, coming up after they had a coaching change, I thought that was a very good inspirational comeback based on the fact that they have a new coach. And then, you also have the, and the Hurricanes, like you said, had too much time off, Pensman, and I believe that's probably that's going to bite them straight in the butt. And but anyway,
Yep.
Brian, go ahead. Your thoughts on the NHL playoffs? Go ahead.
Well, it's like we said, the I think the Hurricanes did have a long time off. What, they had a week off or 2 weeks off, it seems like. I mean, it's like they said yesterday, last week, and they've been on it too long, but I think the Canadian, it depends on today's game at 7 o'clock tonight. The Canadians versus the Hurricanes. Let's see what they can do tonight, and let's see if they'll tie it up again at 1-1. And on the other side, I think the Golden Knights are going to take this one again tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So, I think the Avalanche is, if they go down 0-3, I don't know if they can come back. You know,
Oh yeah,
so
yeah,
if they go 0-3, or they could come back, 2-1. But if they go down 3-0, it's going to be hard, because this is like the Carolina and Canadians game. It could be 1-1 or game 2 for the Canadians. So it's going to be a hard fought match. So these 3-4 teams are actually pretty good. So they deserve what they deserved in the playoffs. They got here, and they're now here.
Oh yeah, the speaking of the NHL, the draft this year will be held in Buffalo, and those of you who don't know, Pensman has more up to date on that. But anyway, they have teams rated in different or number one. All right, here we're going to start at number 16, but the Penguins pick at number 22, I
Again.
believe. Yeah, again, yeah, absolutely, again. Well, that's what happens when you make it to the playoffs, Pensman. I mean,
know.
you make it to the playoffs. That's where you end up. Look at the Steelers every year; they end up 21 or 22 or whatever. So, all right,
Yep. That's why I said again.
Oh yeah, all right. We have the Washington Capitals at number 16. At number 15, we have St. Louis. The Blue Jackets are at number 14. And then we have 13, the Islanders, New Jersey at number 12. At number 11, we have the St. Louis Blues. And then we have Nashville at number 10, Florida at number 9. And then we have Winnipeg at number 8, the Kraken at number 7, Calgary at number 6, the Rangers at number 5, Chicago. How the mighty have fallen. How about the Blackhawks? Man, they used to be good at one time.
Where have they begun? They've had a bad 3 years, 4 years in a row.
Yeah, exactly. They have. They've stunk the joint up a little bit. Vancouver, San Jose, and Toronto. All right, guys, your thoughts on this? We'll start with you, Pensman. You're the man. Go ahead.
Ever since Jonathan Toews has left the Chicago Blackhawks, and Crawford has not. He has ever since that's why the Chicago Blackhawks have not been. Jonathan Toews carry that team more than everybody thinks. In Chicago, I know you're crying because you're used to being in the finals and in the Western Conference Finals, but that's what happens. Toronto. We'll see if Toronto gets something in the number 1 pick. There's a lot of goalies. There's a lot of forwards. There's a lot of good wingers. There's a lot of good people. So there's people I can't pronounce because I don't want to butcher their names because so that's why I'm saying that, because they're just, let's see if Toronto does some. Austin Matthews, just watch out for Gudas. Gudas is a rough player, but he takes care of. Let's see if Austin Matthews comes back from that injury. Gudas likes to go and take care of people, but it's a shame that Austin Matthews had to cut out early. But we'll see if he is linked to Connor McDavid is linked to the Penguins this year. Austin Matthews is linked to the Penguins. We'll see what happens with Malkin. So we'll see. Well, a lot of teams need to rebuild, so that's what the draft's for.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the Penguins are one of them. Go ahead, Brian. Your thoughts on this draft? What do you think?
I don't follow much of the NHL, but like you said, Ralph, some of these teams that you announced, where have they fallen to? You always think about the Blackhawks. They've been there, done that. They've won an NHL Stanley Cup, I think, way back then. But some of these teams, they just need new players. And I'll tell you this: it's hard to try to find good athletes in hockey now. Because you have to go out of the states just to go get good hockey players. So that's what I'm thinking. No.
Okay, guys, I got to go do something real quick here. Go ahead, Pensman. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, but I want to cover the NHL real quick.
Go ahead.
Ovechkin's talking about retiring. We'll see if he does or not. He's talking about going back to Russia. Sidney Crosby shut down rumors yesterday about retirement. He wants to play till he's 41 years old. So
Well, how
we'll
is
see
he?
what happens.
How old is he now? You know.
He's still elite level. He's over in,
Yeah.
he's in Switzerland. He just got player of the MVP of the game. It was
Yeah.
Canada versus Switzerland. They're having some kind of tournament over there, and Crosby's still putting up numbers.
Gee, that's incredible, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, so I mean, it's just one of those things where, like you said, players have got to be players. I mean, they're playing hockey all the time. It don't matter where they are; they're playing hockey no matter 24/7. Oh, I'm gonna go to this place and play hockey, though. You know.
well, Yager, I think he finally stepped down at age 51.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well.
he was over at the Czech Republic, still playing.
Huh. So we're going to talk about this too. I know that Ralph is being busy here. What do you think about the whole entire NHL? Not NHL, the baseball, like the you know MLB so far. What do you think about this season, or the baseball season this year?
It's up and down. It's up and down. Everybody knows I'm a Yankees fan, but the Yankees have fallen down. The bullpen, they're giving up problems. The Cubs have problems. The Pirates started out good. They were playing. They're Pittsburgh was actually thinking they had a good team, but their bullpen collapsed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's still early. July is the All-Star game, so that will cover the first half. But
Yeah.
baseball's always a long season. It's always players play every day, people play every other day. It's just weird. You got to stay. I like the ABS though. The ABS has really made the baseball a lot better than it used to be.
Oh, really?
I wish somebody would still do challenges, but he has not yet, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
The challenge
So
is like who hasn't done a challenge yet, or can we go into that though?
Aaron Judge has not made a challenge yet, so he had a couple that were outside. There were a couple down low, and this guy's 6'7", so you know his reach is really really low. I hate when people reach and go down for it. I hate when they swing down low pitches. You know where your body can handle what your reach is. Just why they have to swing at golf? If you want to go play golf, go play golf. Don't swing at low pitches.
Yeah, we
Well,
talked about that last night, my Pensman.
Yeah,
It was interesting. Yeah, yeah, we talked about them swinging at low pitches, like trying to swing at a golf ball. I mean,
yeah.
it's just ridiculous.
yeah.
I don't know if you can see or not, but Mo Guy's in the chat, Ralph.
Yeah, hold on, I'll get to him in a second here. Let me just get this here. Thanks for letting me know about that. There we go. I see him right there.
No,
Let me
we were talking about hockey and baseball while you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got you. Yeah. Well, we can still talk more about baseball. Thank you, Mo Guy, for being part of the show here. We got some new software we're working with here, so bear with us today, folks. And we'll be getting the shorts back out as soon as I figure out what to do with this new software here. But right now, we're just the show will be out. It'll be all over our social media platforms. And I know everybody likes shorts. Speaking of Major League Baseball, let's go into our teams. We'll start with you, Pensman, the Yankees. I know you were talking a little bit about them right here while I was gone. I had to take care of something real quick, but go ahead.
Garrett Cole came back. The ace came back. He came back. He was in the locker room. He came back. He was looking like he was a fierce guy ready to fight somebody. He went out to the ring. He took the mound. He had 6 scoreless innings, 72 pitches, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. So that's a good debut back for him. I'm glad he's back. Now the Yankees have a good problem. Who's going to be number one? Who's going number two? Max Fried's still recovering from a finger injury. Redon is back. He's starting. Now, I want to explain something to you guys. When you come back from injury, you're not going to be in top shape. You're not going to be how you used to be. You got to go and ease your way back in. So you guys, you Yankees fans, you think you're going to be who you think you are. It's not. You have to ease yourself back in. You got to start at 72, then you got to go at 85, then you got to go at 90, and you got to worry about your exit philosophy of the pitch. There's so many techniques of pitching. Leave Carlos Rodon alone. He is coming back very slowly. Am I upset that we're losing? Yes, but just be patient. I'm telling you. Go ahead, talk about your Cubs, Brian.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brian.
oh no.
Cubs, man.
Oh,
What's going on with your
oh,
Cubs?
they're killing me right now.
They're
2
killing
weeks
you, man. Yeah, you know it. Go ahead.
they're 29 and 22 now on a losing streak of 6 now, and they just lost the lead like a couple of days ago, and they had the Brewers and the Cardinals are up there in the top 2 right now, and the Cubs are 3. But I'll tell you this right now, the hottest team is probably the Braves, and the Brewers are on a 4-game winning streak. You have the Rays that are on a 5-game win streak, and then you have the Guardians on a 7-game win streak.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I got something for you here. The Pirates lost last night, but let me say this. They're 26 and 25. They're above 500, but get this, that the National League Central is so bunched up that they're in last place. Can you believe that? I mean, they are just in last place. And, so
Yeah.
it's horrible. Their bullpen has been letting them down in the last 5 or 6 games. The Pirates really need to get something going with their bullpen. They need to either go out and get a couple guys, or they need to do something as well. All right, guys, next, let's talk about the Aaron Rodgers signing. He put pen to paper over last weekend or the course of this week. He made some statements. His press conference, there was some interesting statements made. And, oh, boy, he was out getting an ice cream. Oh, my. Everybody ran to North Park North Park, which is out in the northern sector of Allegheny County. They all ran out there because it got along on social media that, Aaron Rodgers was getting an ice cream. So I'm going to go run out and get an ice cream, go see Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my. Everybody ran out there like a bunch of boobs. And guess what happened? They didn't see Aaron Rodgers. And he had a press conference this week, and there were some stupid questions that were asked. And I thought it was just one bad press conference. And one reporter said, "What did you do after you went to go get your ice cream?" And he said, "I don't tell my personal business what I did after I went and got my ice cream." So he was frustrated about that. And then some real truth came out about some things. He said the one reason that he came back was because of Mike McCarthy. And, even though he liked Coach Mike Tomlin, everybody says they like Mike Tomlin. But anyway, guys, he said, we got caught with our slip showing. But he got, he came out and said it. They also he had spoken with Mike McCarthy throughout this entire process. That was revealed. And there were some other things that were revealed as well. He had encouraged them to get him a second receiver, which they went out and got Pittman. And there were a lot of things said at this press conference, and he got frustrated a little bit with some of the questions that they were asking the media. And I thought the media kind of went out of control here. But, Brian, go ahead. Aaron Rodgers puts pen to paper for the Steelers. What do you think?
Hey, what can I say about Aaron Rodgers? Dude, come on. One more season, and I hate to tell everybody, but Pittsburgh will be a base 500 team again. He's not. He's just, to me, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he's elite, but he's not as good as he used to be. As Pensman and Ralph look at this game that are coming up, and Pensman, me and you did a couple games on the reaction. Rodgers doesn't have the run ability no more. He's gotten slower, So that's when he signed. I was like, when is this guy going to give up?
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's actually bearing this team.
Yeah.
You want to set it up for next year, and he's not, because we signed a 1-year deal. Well, what about if he wants to come back next year? Then you're messing up more draft picks. He messed like you, Ralph. You called it, and Pensman called it when we did our draft a couple months ago. Why can't we draft a quarterback? Why is Aaron Rodgers haven't signed? He's just messing up their whole entire thing. And McCarthy doesn't know what it's going to do next year.
Well,
Or we're going to linger on.
one thing that was said at this press conference, and the one question we knew it was going to be asked: "What is this going to be your last year?" He actually came out and said, "Yes, this is his final season of playing football in the NFL." So with that, okay, I think that this needs to be his last season. I was not a fan of Aaron Rodgers coming back. Joe Flacco was available. I wanted Joe Flacco. At least we know what we get with Joe Flacco. Flacco can win. Flacco can move just a little bit better, and he still has a little bit in that arm of his. Rodgers his velocity's gone down. He's older. He's slower. And, I'm just not sold on it, and I hope our offensive line can protect them better. We have a new coach, offensive line coach this year in James Campen. We also have, some changes in the offensive line, and I'm hoping that this works out, because if it doesn't, there's going to be big problems for the Steelers this year. It's going to be another 9-8, 9-8. And if Rodgers gets hurt, where do we go? If they cut Mason Rudolph, we're going to go with Will Howard and Drew Elor. All right, go ahead, Pensman. Your thoughts. Go ahead on Aaron Rodgers.
Before we talk about Aaron Rodgers, which, yay, I just want to let everybody know that all players will report to St. Vincent College for training camp July 28th. All players at 11 o'clock at public. They will be talking. That's when the first practice of the public will be seen. So if you guys are available and you guys want to go to St. Vincent College, July 29th is the first open public practice for them. So I want to go this year. We'll see what my schedule is. Maybe if I go, I'll go and do some videos and stuff like that and see if I can get a hold of McCarthy like I did with Tomlin that one year. I was not a YouTuber back in the day, but now that I'm a YouTuber and media person, I want to see if I can get a hold of McCarthy and see if I can talk to him. So we'll see what happens there. I'm hoping, but we'll see what my schedule holds up in August, or July and August. So we'll see what happens there. So back to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is his last year. He finally came out and said this is his last year. So thank goodness. His philosophy has gone down. He doesn't have the arm strength, but with Pittman, we'll do a lot of wide receiver screens. McCarthy knows how to work them. Let's see what happens after the fight in Green Bay. They have won Super Bowl. Like I said, I keep telling you guys that should have been a Super Bowl championship, but it wasn't. But it was. Mendenhall shouldn't have fumbled the ball, but he did. But I don't know. That's just my take on it. Aaron Rodgers is back. Yay. No, not surprised. Oh, he's coming to Pittsburgh this weekend. Where is he? Got to keep it down low if you want a private conversation with him.
Yeah,
Steelers, you have an egg on your face there, Pittsburgh.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I blame the Steeler organization for this, Brian. And you were talking about how Aaron Rodgers, Pensman as well. I blame the Steeler organization on this because they never had a plan when Ben left. Their plan was to draft Kenny Pickett, and the only reason they did that, and I'm going to reemphasize this to everyone again, is because they didn't want the Pitt debacle like they had with Dan Marino. Why didn't we draft Dan Marino? Why did we, Dan Marino went to Miami, made a good career for himself, Hall of Fame career. Sad part about it was he was only in one Super Bowl. So, I mean, that right there points out that. But anyway, he's still a Hall of Famer. And the Steelers could have had 10 or 12 Super Bowls if Dan Marino was the quarterback. I'll guarantee that. Yeah, I will put that up. I really wish that the Steelers did draft Dan Marino because they listened to some bogus information that came out about something with Dan Marino, and that's why the Steelers never drafted him. They didn't have a plan beyond Kenny Pickett. They still haven't been able to do anything. They brought in Russell Wilson last year. Justin Fields, they played around with that a few years ago. Last year, Aaron Rodgers, Mason Rudolph back in the fold. We don't know what's going to happen with him. The Steelers have turned this into an embarrassing situation for their team, and they need to do something and do it, and they need to get their act together and get this quarterback situation straightened out sooner or later. So that's my opinion on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers and what's been going on with them here. All right,
And I don't believe Aaron Rodgers came back from Mike McCarthy only. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers fought numerous times in Green Bay. Numerous times.
Well,
So
he did indicate that Mike McCarthy was one of the reasons he did come back, but he spoke to his wife. He talked to the
his
janitor,
his
at the
Chihuahua.
airport. He talked to his Chihuahua. He talked to his priest or his pastor at his church or whatever. He talked to the homeless guy. He talked to a bunch of people, and they told him to come back. So, I mean, that's where that is. All right.
One more. Please, one more. Okay, I'll go back.
Yeah, I know. This was just embarrassing. It was bad enough the draft was embarrassing for the Steelers in the first round. They didn't get the pick they wanted because they didn't do it right. And here we are. They're stuck with what they're stuck with, and that's the way it is.
Yes,
All right.
Dakota. Yes, Dakota. We restarted that with the show like that. So Dakota come back and talked about Kyle Busch.
I'm sorry.
Dakota came
Yeah.
back with a comment and said something. We already started with that. That's what we
Yeah.
started out with.
Yeah, we started with that.
Yeah, we already started with Kyle Busch. That's right. We already did that. Yep. So
I don't know if you saw that comment or not,
no,
Ralph.
I did. Well, yeah. Here it is. Yeah, we already we did a moment of silence. We've given our opinions on what happened. It's a sad situation. Motorsports this week is taking a hit. So there we are with that. All right, guys, real quick, we're going to get into UFL action and some quick talk about wrestling, WWE, AEW, that kind of thing. I do want to say last night the DC Defenders lost to the Orlando Storm 27-19 last night. It looks like the Orlando Storm have already clinched the playoffs for the UFL, the United Championship games coming up. We'll be doing the UFL Weekly tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. So make sure you tune in here on our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, the Kick platform as well. So make sure you tune into that. And then today at 3 o'clock, we have the Birmingham Stallions versus the Columbus Aviators, coached by former Steeler offensive coordinator, Kansas City head coach, and Arizona Cardinals offensive coordinator Todd Haley. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock, Dallas versus the Louisville Kings. And then tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, which we'll be able to give you some of the score while we're on the air, the St. Louis Battlehawks versus the Houston Gamblers. So that ought to be an interesting game for that game. Next week, we're I think they get into the playoffs. No, there's still another week to go. And then we get into June. That's when the playoffs and the United Bowl happen before the NFL gets started with their playoff run. All right, guys, UFL here real quick. Brian, go ahead.
I think the Storm have actually clinched a playoff berth.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I think they've only had 2 losses this year. They do, but they're on a win streak of 3 games now, and they look like they can actually do some damage this year. But that's the only team that I actually see could win the whole entire team. They have a good offense, a good defense, and they pretty much taken everybody to the. When they come out, they're pretty strong at all ends.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Pensman, go ahead. UFL, real quick. Go ahead.
Orlando Storm is 7-2. They clinched playoffs. St. Louis Blue Hawks, they're 5-3. DC, they lost last night 5-4. Birmingham is 4-4.
Wow.
Louisville's 4-4. Dallas is 3-5. Houston's 3-5, and Columbus is 2-6. So Dallas needs to win if they want to push their ticket into the playoffs. A lot of teams need to win. So that's what's happening around the UFL.
Yeah, absolutely. UFL, it's a tight race. But the Birmingham has fallen. Oh my gosh, they were winning championship. DC Defenders, last year's champs, they've fallen. Columbus didn't look good this year because they had to change coaches. Todd Haley, I guess he's done what he can with what he has to work with. And
he came in late. They threw him in the Wolves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah. He had to pick up a situation that was just bad from the beginning. And when you have that kind of situation. you can't get yourself out of it in that kind of way. All right, guys. WWE real quick here. Ludwig Kaiser got arrested for an incident. There was a warrant for his arrest. He was picked up in Orlando, where he lives. He was at a hotel for an event, went up to a room with a woman in the elevator, and then they went to the bar, and supposedly him and this guy got into some kind of a dispute or an argument. Ludwig Kaiser assaulted the man. He's been charged so far with simple assault. They said if this man has any or whatever, the prosecutors, he's been held with no bail, and they're saying it's simple assault. It could be aggravated assault, and he could get some jail time here. I'm hearing stories he may not make next week's pay-per-view with the AAA, the mass versus mass match against the original El Grande Americano. Guys, we'll start with you, Pensman. Your thoughts? Ludwig Kaiser getting arrested. Go ahead.
If you're going to drink, we've been talking about this. If you're going to drink, make sure you drink at home. That way you don't do anything stupid. If you do something stupid, you're at home. So there's no point of going there. There's no point of going to the bar. So you get drunk, you're gonna lose focus. You're gonna do stuff that you're gonna regret. Somebody's gonna come in your face, and then the alcohol's gonna talk, and then that's what happened basically. Kaiser's a really good guy, but I just know the alcohol was doing the talking, and he just got in the wrong mess. So hopefully
Yeah.
he learned something from it. So, but we'll see what happens.
I'm interested to see what the WWE is going to do about this. He plays that role. He's the fake El Grande Americano, or he was the guy who took over when the original El Grande Americano, who we all know as Chad Gable, all right, had decided to move on. Brian, your thoughts on Ludwig Kaiser?
My whole take is like Pensman said. Please just have a donated driver. I mean, we saw it through what Tiger Woods going through right now. I mean, for young people, everybody's going to drink, and I know I've been in NASCAR for a long time, and I know that people drink in NASCAR, but the limit is the limit, guys. I mean, girls too. I mean, when is it going to stop? Designated driver or something, because let's say if he hurts somebody, like in Tiger Woods' instance, if you hurt somebody, you're going to go to jail. Me and my wife watched last night a comedy, and he said that he goes to bars and he got drunk one time, and it got him in a fight because the liquor was talking. He's like, a normal person would just kind of shrug it off, and it was just a bump in, and he went for jail for it, for beating a guy up. It's just that one kind of a deal.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the interesting thing is these athletes, they never learn. And let's talk about Antonio Brown, how some of the things he's done. And some WWE. Liv Morgan's been in trouble a few times with the WWE with some of her activities, things like that. But and the WWE cutting out these wrestlers, the whole Wyatt Six gone, a bunch of guys gone. It's really terrible, and gals gone. But here's the problem that I have with this: they kept people like Danhausen, they kept people like some of these other goofs that wrestle here. Otis, they kept, but then they got rid of some of the better wrestlers because they wanted TKO wanted all these wrestlers to take 50% pay cuts, and a lot of them said no, I'm not doing that. And I don't blame people I don't blame folks for doing that. You put a lot of effort into this, and you deserve to be paid accordingly. But the thing is here, and I want to compare AEW to WWE, guys, and what I'm saying is WWE, even if you work there as the janitor or you work there pouring coffee, you cannot work for anybody else. So you have to strictly work for the WWE, which means if you sign a contract with them, you cannot go anywhere else to wrestle. AEW, you're allowed to go to TNA. You're allowed to do the independent circuit. You can do all that stuff. And to me, if I was any wrestler right now, I probably would go to AEW or something to be able to do that. All right, real quick here. TNA, they had the Righteous versus the Hardys. They had a match Thursday night. It was an interesting match where it was Matt Hardy versus one of the guys from the Righteous, and each partner had to be handcuffed to the ring. Well, it turns out that it turned into a debacle like we thought it would turn into, and Willow has made his triumphant return to wrestling. Guys, Willow, what do you think about Willow coming back? We'll start with you with Brian. Go ahead, TNA, Willow.
I don't know nothing about that, but I mean, I think it'd be a great comeback on that.
Yeah. Willow's he's been with TNA before. Actually, I'm going to tell you who Willow is. It's Jeff Hardy's alter ego. I mean, it's just another character that he plays. And
okay. I didn't. Yeah,
that's what Willow is.
he's getting. Well, here's my thought, Ralph, and I'll go back to that. He's getting old, slow.
I think I heard this is their last contract with TNA, and I heard they're going to do a WWE stint real quick before they go into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, when is enough? For the Hardy Boys. I mean, he's already got. I mean, can you imagine how many brains that he's actually, concussions that he's actually had of flying off the top rope and stuff like that? It's just amazing that he's kind of kept it, but he's lost a lot of speed. A lot of speed, a lot of quickness.
Yeah, they slow down. I mean, that's the way it is. He can't do what he did 20 years ago. I mean, that's
exactly
a simple fact. He can't do what he did, 20 years ago. All right, guys, let's close up the show. That's the closing remarks and how everybody can get a hold of you. Go ahead, Pensman.
Well, the Yankees play at 1:35 today. We'll have New York Knicks tonight. We'll have the Canadians and the Hurricanes. They play tonight as well. So there's still sports to be played, even though our teams are not in it. So you can find me on YouTube at Pensman Sports. You can find me on Twitch at Pensman Sports just now. So that's finally up and running. And you can email me at pensmansports@gmail.com. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Please share the channel. I have 580 shares now. I don't understand why you guys aren't sharing, but just share the channel out. It's not hard. It takes 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, Brian, go ahead. Closing thoughts and tell everybody how they can get a hold of you.
You can find me on multiple platforms. You can find me on all kinds of platforms. I'm just going to say it at Sports Break Media and also on X. It's actually 27 at Sports Break, so you can find me there. But rest of the time, also tomorrow at 11 or 11:30, I will be going live to do the reaction to the Indianapolis 500, and maybe if I'm not too tired, I might do the Coca-Cola 600. If it does rain tomorrow, we'll try to do it on Monday whenever they actually do it. So there might be some, things on that. So, but no, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for that. And you can get a hold of me. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, X, and the Kick platform. And also we are on several other, I'm also on the Getter, Getter, and I'm also on the Blue Sky, LinkedIn, and I'm also on Rumble. And don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our YouTube channels to help us to get to our goals to where we need to be. I'm trying to get to 2,500. It's been a struggle. I'm also on Twitter X, and that hasn't done me any justice either. But still, don't forget to follow me there as well. And I'm sorry, folks. I just want to apologize. I'm working with a new software today. And we're trying it out to see how it works, and some things are not where they need to be. But we'll get there. So that's all I got to say with that. So but we'll get it there as much as we can. I'm still trying to work with this, tinkering around, playing with it, see what's going on as well. So some of the usual things that we do are not here. Don't forget this afternoon, 2 to 3 p.m. the Sports Corner Radio Show on AM 1250, The Answer 92.5. on the FM dial and on theanswerpgh.com. My email address is ralphwilliams737@gmail.com. Also, if you're interested in any sponsorship advertising, you want to advertise, I have package deals. It includes my website, www.rwmediaproductions.com. It includes social media platforms here, my two shows that are here, the Saturday Sports Show and the Ralph's Opinion Show. And then also you get all 7 of my radio shows, including the one in the Delmarva area, which is on 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single Saturday morning, the Ralph Williams Show on 93.5 The Beach. And you also get the Philly Show, 8:60 a.m. WWDB every Wednesday. This Wednesday, we are live, 3 to 4 p.m., live call-in show. Check out my social media platform. I'll have the phone number for you to call. We're live calling, lots to talk about as well in the city of brotherly love. And then don't forget my shows on KHB on Memorial Day. I will be on with the Ralph Williams Show 2 to 3 p.m. on 620 KHB in Pittsburgh as well. And don't forget tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Ralph Williams Show with me, Ralph Williams, and my co-host, Tony Moreno. All right, that's what's going on in the life of RW Media Productions. For Pensman Sports and Brian Pettit, have yourself a great one, and please, by all means, be safe. Thank you.